Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here today. I've got a great class lined up for you, and it's all about Google. So let me go ahead and queue up my screen share and get us started. Now, if this is your first time joining me, I'm so glad that you're here. I really am. I love to be in the presence of lifelong learners, and I really admire and appreciate that you guys are lifelong learners. So, way to go. Also, I just want to let you know I've got a little bit of an allergy today. So, if you hear me stuffed up and I don't sound the way I usually do, that's exactly why. All right. Bear with me. If I sniffle, if I happen to blow my nose or something like that, I'm still here with you. Today, we're going to talk about Google, and Google is no longer just a search engine. It's truly a household brand name. So that is what we're going to talk about. I don't think there's any product, any person out there who has not heard of the Google. And I'm really excited to talk with you about it because it's radically changed the way I work. And if this is your first time joining me, I am the founder of Senior Savvy. I have a TV show. It's called Senior Savvy with Abby. Also host Tech Tuesday on LinkedIn. I consider myself the daughter of many because I love you guys, and I tend to get really attached to my clients. I enjoy being with you. I enjoy helping you. It's truly the passion of mine. So thank you. Today's class, it's going to be, probably around 45 minutes long, maybe even shorter, because I'm recording this without any students. But if you do have any questions, what I want you to do is I want you to email me, and I'm going to go ahead and put my email address at the end of this presentation. Today, I always like to ask a couple questions so I know what kind of students I have in the house, who's watching. So do you use the Google search engine? How about Google Maps? And are you using the Chrome browser? Yes, yes, and yes, I'm sure you are. So here is our outline for today. The first thing we're going to talk about is Google history. Well, Google started back in 1998. It began as the American search engine, and nowadays more than 70% of online search requests are handled by Google. This really places it at the heart of most internet users' experiences. In the early years of Google, in 2004, Google announced Gmail, big stuff, right? Google also launched Google Maps in 2005. I don't know if you knew this, but Google bought YouTube in 2006. The Chrome browser came out in 2008, and then they came out with something called Google Drive. I don't know if you're aware of it, but that's one of the things that has radically changed the way I do work these days. So first, let's talk about how to do a good search and why you'd want to use Google in order to do that. There are many benefits of using the Google Chrome browser. It's very secure. It integrates with your calendar and your Gmail beautifully. And what that means is if you are in your Gmail and you want to click on a link, it's going to automatically take you inside the Chrome browser to that website. So you don't have to leave to go to a different browser. You can customize it. And I also want to tell you that most internet programmers are designing their programs in Google. So if you ever find that a website's not opening up, or you get that error message that says something like this needs to be viewed in a different browser, that's precisely why. I want to talk briefly about navigating in Google and in the Chrome browser. So number one, let's talk about the go back. I'm pretty sure you know about that one. But number two, this is the refresh and reload button. So what this does, and it's kind of a circle with an arrow, this refreshes the information. So let's say you are waiting for a bank deposit to appear in your account, and you're waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, you can go ahead and refresh it, in order for that new information to reload on your page. Same thing as well as if you're in your email, you can also refresh and reload that. Number 3, this is where you can add a tab. Now, I've noticed from working one-on-one with my clients that many of you just keep one tab open, but you know what? You can have tons of tabs. In fact, I would consider myself tab-full. I have tons of tabs open. It's a way for me to, let's just say, have a lot of files on my desk at once, but they're on the computer of different things I'm working on. Now, number 4, this is the internet address. And right here, you can actually just type in anything, even a search. You don't have to go to Google and then type in to the bar, the I Feel Lucky bar. You could just type your search in right there. It doesn't have to have the www. It doesn't need to have the .com. Google knows that you are on the World Wide Web, and you could type in anything, even a mathematical equation, and it will calculate the results for you. Number 5, you can go ahead and resize your tab. So you can have a half screen of the Google browser and also have your Quicken up at the same time. And then number 6 over here, this is where you can go to get into your settings. Also, if there's an update, you'll see it right up here in that area. Now I want to talk about searching and doing good searches and effective searches. I know a lot of my students don't know what to write in there. They see a ton, 100 million results. And so I want to teach you how to do an internet search. So first off, I want to point something to you. Let me go back one screen. Now, typically when you type in a search, and in this case, I typed in, why are my eyes red? Because in the past 2 years, my eyes have been red. I get red eyes. I wouldn't say they're bloodshot. They're not hurting. It's not conjunctivitis. It's just I've been staring at the screen. But here are a couple things I want to show you as I dial down on my search results. Now, you may have never noticed this before, but up there at the top where I have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right up there, you'll see that you can filter your results by whatever is going to help you get there sooner. So number 1 is all, and that is all of 1,400,000,000 results. That's a whole lot of results. But let's say you wanted to look at images, right? Let's say you wanted to see pictures of a red eye so that you get a better idea of how to narrow down your result. You would click on images. You could also select news. So if you wanted to read a news story about red eyes, you could select the news tab. And I like to also look at how recent the news story was posted. So in the first example, it says 1 day. In the second example, it says 3 weeks. And you know what? My eyes have been red since COVID. And so I want to make sure that the results that I look at are going to be current, because the reason my eyes are red today is very different than why they would be red in 2019. If I wanted to find a product to purchase from my search results, I would click on the shopping tab, and that will show you nearby. The first result here is Walmart. It's $708. The second one is Target, and it's just 9 miles away from my house, and I can purchase that for 99 cents. So if you're looking to purchase something, you would click on the shopping tab. Furthermore, if you want to watch a video, and a lot of my students love to watch instructional videos like this one, you could click on videos and find out and watch a video. Now, if you need to do an advanced Google search, there are very specific ways to doing that. And I just want to tip you off to what you could do when you want to look that up. You can look up Google search operators. That's the keyword, operators, for looking for something very specific. They change from time to time, so you want to be certain that you're looking at a current one. Did you learn something new about searching? I sure do hope so. Now I want to talk about Gmail. And I got to tell you, when we talk about Gmail, not all email is created equal. I would say that the Gmail accounts are better. Well, for starters, Gmail gives you 15 gigabytes of storage, which blows the socks off of, say, a Cox or a Comcast email provider, which gives you 2. All right. Second to that, when you're looking at your inbox in Chrome, I want you to notice that there are these little stars that you can always select a little star. Let's say you're checking your email on your phone, and then when you get back to your computer, you want to be able to look at the important emails. Well, any of the ones that you have starred, that's a visual cue for you to get right back to it. You can break your inbox up into 3 categories: primary, social, and promotions. I like this because the most important ones are in my primary. Social contains all of the social media platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn, notices that I might get, and promotions, it's typically all newsletter spam type of things. Now, one thing I want to teach you is that Gmail has a powerful search utility in it. And you may have ignored this, you may not have recognized it, but I want to tip you off to it right now because it's been a game changer for me. And so instead of filing and then looking in a folder, for instance, I just search for it from now on. I don't go scrolling. I go searching. So this is a very powerful tool because Gmail contains the same sophisticated search abilities that you would find in Google. That's right, because they're owned by the same company. So start searching instead of scrolling. I also want to let you know that you can check other email addresses all within one box, okay? And so if you're still using your AOL account, and I really hope you're not, because hackers know that anyone over the age of 80 is still using AOL, okay? You can forward all of your AOL to a Gmail account. This way you can still get and see who might be sending you AOL email without losing that address. Did you learn something new about Gmail? I know you did. How about that searching? Next, I want to tip you off to the Google Apps. This has been another game changer for me. And the first thing I want to show you is up there in the right area, you'll see a grid. It looks like a waffle grid. And when you click on it, what you see are these apps. That's right. You have access to these. They're free and they're valuable and they rival every single one of the Microsoft Word apps that you're paying for, especially if you're not really even using it much. You can begin using the Google apps for free, and they're pretty similar. So first, let's talk about Google Docs. Google Docs is a free web-based application in which documents and spreadsheets can be created, edited, and sorted online. They can be accessed anywhere from any computer with an internet connection. And what this means is you no longer have to worry, oh, am I going to have that on my laptop? If I take that away with me, do I have to use a flash drive? No, you could shelf that. You don't need to do it anymore. If you're saving it in Google Docs, it will be on every single one of your devices, even your phone. And Google Docs, you could do margins, fonts, formats. You can download it as a PDF. You can download it as a Word document. It's truly a game changer. You can use the Google Calendar. You could use the Google Calendar app on your phone. It integrates perfectly. If you are a spreadsheet user, Google Sheets has an online spreadsheet app that lets users create and share work with other people. And so it's kind of a baseline for all the other apps. So if someone is using, for instance, Excel and you don't have Excel, you can open up their Excel spreadsheet in Google Sheets and work on it that way. And I know there's a lot of confusion when you're sharing a document or a spreadsheet with someone else. If you need to prepare a slideshow, you could do that in Google Slides. It works very similarly to PowerPoint or Keynote. And did you know that you could be storing all your photos? Yes, all of them in Google Photos. And Google Photos allows you, it's a photo sharing and storage service. It's developed by Google. And it makes things really easy for you sharing and ordering products. Will you start using the Google apps now? I sure do hope so. Now let's talk about how you store them all. You store them all in Google Drive. It's like a hard drive, but it's in your computer. It's available on the internet. It's a cloud-based storage solution. It allows you to save files online and access them anywhere from any smartphone, tablet, or computer. If you're trying to figure out how you get there, you go back to the Google Apps, to that grid I showed you just a moment ago. And the drive here is in the left column. It's 3 from the top, okay? It says drive, and that's where all of your documents are being stored. When you go into your Google Drive, you can look up everything that was shared with you. Maybe someone shared a document with you. You can access it by recent. You can search for any keyword that you may have written, but you don't remember the name of the document, for instance. So it's totally accessible for you. Now I want to share with you some tips for success, because I want you to be savvy and successful. So when you're searching, I want you to start simple. Just put in 2 or 3 words. You don't have to type in a big long sentence. Less tends to be more when you're searching for things. Also, don't worry about punctuation, capitalization, or even spelling. Google will figure it out for you. If you're looking for something with exact words, you're going to want to go ahead and put that into quotations. And you don't have to worry about whether it's uppercase or lowercase. Google can figure that part out. Now I want to talk about a question I get all the time. Well, what is Google and Chrome? What's the difference between those two? And so here's the big difference. Google is a search engine. Chrome is a browser. Now you can use Chrome, Google Chrome browser, with Yahoo if you want to. You can use the Google Chrome browser with DuckDuckGo if you want to. You could use the Microsoft Edge browser and use Bing. So these are 2 different things. The search engine is the lens. The browser is the pair of glasses you put on. And so based on how you're wanting to look at the internet, that's how you choose these 2. Now, a couple of other things I want to share with you. One of the really nice things about using the same browser on your phone as on your computer is that they are syncing with each other. So if you look up an address on your computer, you can send this directly to your phone, and it will make things so easy. And now finally, I also want to spend a tiny bit of time on Google Earth. A lot of my students absolutely love it. So cool, huh? Well, we are out of time for today. And like I promised, I wanted to go ahead and share my email address with you. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. Really makes my day to interact with you. You can also find me on Facebook anytime, as well as on my YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead and stop this share right now and just come back and let you know it's always a pleasure and an honor to serve you. If you have any workshop topics you'd like to know more about, please email me and let me know, and I'll be sure to cover them. Thank you so much.